We're not here by chance, we are here by divine appointment, and that we heard that call and we answered. I also share this with our viewing audience that you tuned in at this moment. And it's the moment that is a reckoning on some levels, because we always are led and guided to where we need to be. And if we're listening to that divine call and we are going in the direction, I feel, of our highest dominant thought, energetically, doors open. This month, our theme is the science of living. Today, our topic is the science of mind. Now, our way of life is the science of mind. When Dr. Ernest Holmes was asked, what is religious science? In a sentence, he said, the laws of science, the opinions of philosophy, the revelations of religion applied to human need and the aspirations of man and woman. Now, the premise is perfect God, perfect man, woman, perfect being. That is the ground of being. And people get caught up and say, well, I'm not perfect, but there is a perfection within us, guiding and directing us. And if we surrender to that inner urge and we let go to allow the universe to flow through us and recognize that there is a spirit within everything, that everything is God, everything, energetically. I walk outside, I see the trees, the newborn buds transform to leaves. There is a divine unfoldment. So in our science of mind philosophy, we believe that thoughts are things and words are molds, and trained thought is far more powerful than untrained thought, because we are utilizing these universal laws. It matters not religion we are, what color we are, what sexual orientation we are. We are all using the same dynamic laws of the universe. As within, so without. That there is a cause and effect relationship here. Now, one of the things that I share many times is that I do this for me and the glory of God. And that if you get something out of it, it's wonderful. Because if there is only one, and there is only God, then your success makes mine possible. My success makes yours possible. And if I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, there truly is only one of us. And what is so interesting is we assume the virtue. We assume the virtue of wholeness. We assume the virtue of love. We assume the virtue of joy. We assume the virtue of wisdom. We assume the virtue. And when we put the works with the faith and begin to know that we are guided and directed every single day of our lives, something begins to happen. And there's an interesting trade-off in our interesting society. Aesop had a fable about a dog, and he was carrying a piece of meat in his mouth. And he was kind of carrying it over a stream. And as he looked down, he saw his reflection in the stream. And he thought it was another dog with a larger piece of meat. And he dropped his meat to snap at the other dog in the stream, reflecting back to him. And guess what happened? Yes, he lost what he had. It sank to the bottom of the stream. So what happened is we cannot give our good away to grasp at a shadow. The world is filled with shadows. And as we open to the authentic truth of ourselves and know that yes, there is darkness, there is an energy that goes on the planet that is not for the highest vibratory frequency. But as light bearers, the frequency that a person of light carries is to lift that energy up and to see through that appearance, that condition, and that effect. And sometimes that is very, very difficult to do. And I know that all the years of doing this work, almost 40 years, and to go into a hospital room and to see someone connected to amazing machines and tubes can be daunting. But I know that Reverend Roger will attest to this. You have to see through that to their wholeness and to their truth and to their beauty and to their knowingness that this is just a moment in time. that the truth of us is that we are whole, perfect, and complete no matter what it looks like on the outer. That there is a God particle within us. There is a seed of perfection within us. We are working on our things. And in the Science of Mind philosophy, it's fascinating because in this knowing the truth, if we don't feel like we're whole, perfect, and complete, it's not to beat ourselves up with. It's to say, I am learning, I am growing, I am unfolding, this is what I'm working on. That we're all part of the human condition, every single one of us. So this is what we're working on. I love the conversation in the Gospel according to Peanuts. And Peanuts is, little Linus is saying what a wonderful world it is, and it's all is well. And Charlie Brown is kind of looking at him like, are you nuts? And he goes, oh no, it's a wonderful world, and all is well. And he said, well, if it's such a wonderful world, and you're so confident that all is well, why do you hang on to that blanket? Kind of looked down. He looked at Charlie Brown and he said, touche. That we all have something that we hold onto. And that when we're ready to let it go and release it and allow it to go into its native nothingness from whence it came, we know the moment of that surrender, the moment that we're ready to do that. The Science of Mind philosophy acknowledges that when we speak our word, that our word is law unto the thing in which it is sent. That thoughts are things, the words are molds, and so we want to stand porter at the gate of our conscious mind and really only direct that energy to the places that we know are going to feel this vibration of wholeness. And we're very adamant about our word because our word does manifest. And I said the great sense of humor of the universe is that it will always give you what you're putting out there, even if you think you're just kidding. And I have had students, who have said, they're a pain in the neck in other parts of anatomy, and find out, that they get to reap what they have sown in their word. So we do acknowledge that there is a higher vibratory frequency in our word, that we want to use the words that are life-giving. We want to use the words that are filled with the energy of aliveness and wisdom and abundance. We need to know at the deepest, deepest level that we are here to fulfill our destiny, that we come into metaphysics. And I really believe that it's an evolution and that we evolve into metaphysics, that we come through many modalities, many religions to get here and to realize that we are all one. My dear friend Verlaine Crawford, who wrote a wonderful book called Ending the Battle Within, it was on the New Thought bestsellers list. And we were at Lulu's yesterday, and there was a group of men that were sitting kind of behind us, and we wanted to have like a little souvenir picture, so we asked them, the one gentleman to take a photograph, and then he took a photograph, and then she wanted with, how it is, her photograph. And he said, wow, he said, you've got really good energy. And I said, so do you. I said, in fact, this is a way of life that we meet every Sunday at the Camelot Theater to acknowledge that we are all one beyond color, race, creed, and sexual orientation. We are all one. And he said, I have always known that. I have always believed that. I have always lived by that. And so I gave him my each one reach one card, and I said, great, see you there. So when we're putting it out there into the universe, and that we're becoming the thing in which we live and move and have our being, that's who we are. And others will notice that. They will want what you have, what vitamins you are taking, what it is that you are doing. And when we begin to let go at a deeper level and realize that we don't need to hang on to all the grudges, we don't need to hang on to all the things that were done from childhood on, we learn and grow and unfold from those experiences. And as we begin to unfold, something happens. Now, there was a study done by Dr. Joseph Dispenza in which cancer patients would go into remission. And I thought, this is so science of mind, because the first step was recognizing that there is a higher power in the universe. There is a divine intelligence. The second was looking at whatever the experience, the dis-ease was, and realizing my thoughts may have something to do with this. The third was releasing and surrendering to the energy field. And the fourth was meditating and having an experience of the timeless. Because when we go within to that secret place of the Most High, and we pray to our Father, Mother, God in secret, we are acknowledged openly by the outward demonstrations of our lives. So we come into this way of life, and we all plateau out. So then there's the next level of growth, and the next level of unfoldment. No one ever arrives if they are on the planet. That we are called upon to grow and to unfold. That there are times that, looks a little greener over in that side of the stream, and we drop what we have only to realize that that didn't work out. There are a lot of things in life that don't work out. But if we are putting our one foot in front of the other, and we are on the spiritual path, we're going to discover that there is a greater energy and aliveness for us. That sometimes, yes, it is appropriate to let go of where we are at that moment, so that we can surrender and realize that there is a power for good in the universe greater than we are. We are using it now, every single moment of our lives. The Science of Mind text by Dr. Ernest Holmes states that never limit your view of life by any past experience. And it's easy to do because we have wonderful experiences, and then we have the experiences, well, I did that once and it didn't work out. Oh dear. Did anyone here ever do anything and it didn't work out once? Take a number, right? Take a number. And some of us still hold on to our blanket until we're ready to let go of that blanket. Two little kids were looking at a little tree, and the older one says, it's such a shame that we won't be here when it's fully grown. And the other one said, why? Where are we going? It's just like, I'll be here. I'll appreciate what's here, the growth that is here. And that we have to start appreciating and knowing that our self-image is grounded in God, whatever we conceive our God to be, whatever name we put on our God, that we are growing out of that consciousness. In the ancient Talmud, there is a beautiful story about every blade of grass has an angel, and it whispers, grow, 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 grow. That we are here to grow, to unfold, to be all that we can be. I've been in this way of life a long time. I have plateaued out at times. So then there is another level of reinventing ourselves. There's another level of going and recognizing, if I have that funny feeling in my stomach, in the solar plexus, I do it. Because that's that little voice within us that's saying, it's too much. Well, if it's too much, that's my guideline, that I need to go to that next level, that I need to unfold and need to grow and move beyond myself and my own conditioning. Because when we come from conditioning, it's a reflex response. And we think we can't do certain things, or that we shouldn't do it, or we were told we couldn't. But there is a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. We are created in the image and likeness of God, and it is not only good, it's what? It's very good. And for us to know that and live from that space, and to put the works with the faith, because this is a good game that anybody can talk about. You can talk about it and talk about it, but we got to put the works with the faith. Embody what this energy is. Live from that place. Where we're tempted to feel hurt or disappointed, that there is an energy that we can surrender to that fills our hearts with love and understanding, compassion and forgiveness. And when we understand that that's why we are here, then we don't take ourselves so seriously. And life is about joy as well. Joy is the most infallible sign of the presence of God. It's about having a good time. It's about enjoyment. It's about the energy of looking unto the hills from whence cometh our help, and to realize our strength comes from the one. And that we tap into that oneness and speak our word and recognize that there is that power in the universe, to unify with it, that it is right where I am. There is no spot where God is not. To realize that there is a power and a presence in the universe, and that we speak our word into the law of mind and recognize that it is already done unto us. We're opening our awareness. It's an already accomplished fact in mind and experience. And the most powerful affirmation that we can make is the holy I am presence is right here, right now, guiding and directing. To tap into that energy, to know that we are never alone. To know that whatever that we aspire to do, that there is a whole universe conspiring to make it happen. Oscar Wilde said that he was a paranoiac in reverse. He felt that people were plotting to make him happy. I love that. Plotting to make him happy. Not going to the football game and every time they get in a huddle you think, oh, they're talking about me, you know. To move so far beyond that consciousness. To know in whom we live and move and have our being. To recognize that everyone is our brother and our sister. To realize within ourselves that there's a lot to heal on the planet, isn't there? I went out into my yard the other day, and it was in the evening, and it was like at dusk. And there was a young man going down the street, and there was a car full of people that were going up the street, and they yelled out, "Faggot!" And I just went within, and I just, you know, at first I started to feel angry. Then I went within, and I blessed them, and I said, Father, Mother, God, if there is any bigotry within me on any level, let me heal it now so it doesn't outpicture in a carload of guys going by with this young man walking down the street. He was a darling young man. And then as I did this little prayer, I heard bagpipes playing Amazing Grace in the neighborhood. I was like awestruck and stood there and said, thank you, Father, Mother, God. And at Wednesday Night Live, when I gave my presentation on the Sacred Oracle of the Runes, a young man came up with he said he couldn't see it, so I read his rune card that he drew. And I said, you know, it's so amazing. And I was just talking about being out in my front yard, and I created bagpipes, and here, you know, we're doing the Celtic runes, we're doing Celtic wisdom. He said, where do you live? I said, on the corner of Coletta Way and Hermosa. He said, that was me down the street playing my bagpipes for the Gay Pride Parade. I said, you have no idea. I had God bumps. That I could put it out there that I heard bagpipes in my front yard and went within to say a prayer about the bigotry that was just demonstrated in front of me, and then to have this young man practicing his bagpipes, playing Amazing Grace in my neighborhood, and negating all that energy. Out of evil cometh good. Out of light, the light and the energy of the universe. There is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. Do you believe that? Do you really believe that? And do you know where we're going? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. Where are we going? Higher yet. And that's why I'm in this way of life. That's what I do every Sunday. That's why I'm in community, and I'm here today. The love we share. God bless you.